Alrighty then, here we are in Barcelona at the CSGO Invitational here at the World Mobile Congress. We've just had the most insane matchup that's just happened. It was going one way, it was going the other way, and then it went the other way, and then it went the other way again. So it was one of those games of CS which we all love to see, which means the winners of that match, Fnatic, who once again didn't know when they were beaten, have chosen the next matchup. And this is all getting very political, and it does get very political the way this whole tournament works, because it's about choosing the next team. It becomes about alliances and stabbing people in the back. Et tu brute, just to do my only bit of Latin that I actually know. So, the next teams that we'll be playing, well, it'll be EnVyUs, our French friends who are already on stage, and they are taking on a team that hasn't played today. They are part of the Lure Pack. It's Astralis. Beautiful, polite applause there. It's like being at the cricket. So first time you've played today. What did you think of the last matchup between Fnatic and your Danish friends?
It was very close. It was very interesting, but at the same time, I feel like Dignity should have won. But yeah.
When you are friends with them, obviously you know them through CS, you know them as a team, you know them from here. Were you watching them play thinking, oh, you should have done that, you should have done something else?
Both yes and no. I mean, it's a little bit of mixed feelings. They play in a different way than we do, and they have other kind of players. So we try not to interfere too much in how they play. But yeah, overall, we thought they should have won, and I think they think so as well. But yeah.
Well, let's talk about you then. You're taking on Envy, a team that you've played a fair amount over the years, and whatever guys you've been in. How do you feel about playing them? How are you feeling your chances are?
Well, it's always close when we play them. I think we've played really close to them like the last 10 times or something like that. I just really want to beat them, that's all.
The veto's just happened. Which map has been chosen?
I believe it's Mirage.
And how do you feel about Mirage?
It's, I think it's pretty good for us, so yeah.
I'm enjoying getting these score predictions from the teams before they go up. Hit me with a score prediction. Obviously, Astralis are going to win. Astralis by how many?
Well, it's going to be close. We're going to win 16-12.
16-12. Thank you very much, boys. Thank you very much. We're looking forward to seeing that one. Thank you, Dupree. If I'm just going to nip up here quickly, Happy, you've not got your headset on. I'm missing your T-shirt today. They reckon they're going to beat you 16-12. It's Mirage. How do you feel about Mirage?
We're going to wreck them.
Wreck them! Oh, yeah! Give me a score prediction.
16-0.
16-all. 16-0?
Yeah.
All right, he's going to do 16-0. I thought you said 16-all. I was like, okay. He's going 16-0. Just to let you know, he just said 16-0, okay? Yeah, Carrigan's fine with that. So that is the next matchup that is happening here. I think, well, no, I'm not going to do that. We're going to nip into the crowd. After the next game, we'll nip into the crowd and have a chat to see how you're enjoying. No, bloody hell, we'll do it now. So come with me. I don't know who speaks particularly decent English over here. You, sir, what is your name?
João.
Joel, you're watching the matchup on stage right now. It's Envy versus Astralis. Which way is it going?
I don't know, Envy maybe, I think.
Well, come on, let's be a bit more definite about it.
What?
Definite. Give me a proper score prediction.
16, 13.
To who?
To Envy.
Okay, he reckons 16-0 on stage, by the way. Well, there you go. We got one thought of the crowd. We'll hand it back to somebody who was wearing very tight jeans today. That is the Machine. 16-0 perhaps to Envy. What do you reckon?
I think there's some certain confidence on the French side, I'll tell you that, and my jeans, in fact, are incredibly tight. I actually spray them on. I just give it a shake and spray them on in the morning, and that's how
weird. There's no weird lumps in the crotch or anything when you do that, though. Why is that?
No, that's actually a separate process altogether. So basically, from the thigh down is spray, and then I'll explain that another time.
Yeah, show me later.
Yeah,
all right, I'll see you there.
All right,
see you there.
See you later. First, we have to talk about some CS, though.
Henry,
as you can tell,
this?
some people. Henry knows that me and Sadicus have a thing on the side. It's all known. It's out there. But guys. This is basically, we're going to be treated to one good game after another. That Dignitas game just delivered on so many different levels. Fnatic, of course, just flexing their muscles and saying, just in case you happen to be thinking we weren't the best team in the world, look what we can do. And of course, Dignitas are going to be reeling from that one for a while. But let's not get hung up on that game because it is easy to do.
The funny thing is, although it's not probably going to affect much, is that not only did they toy with Dignitas' emotions, they messed with Astralis' in this as well, because they're sitting there going, ha, our tournament now. Just kidding. So they got 2 for 1 in that.
That's true. You're not wrong.
Trick.
I mean, yes and no. In the end, I guess I would like to think that Astralis is a team that believes that they can beat both Fnatic and EnVyUs. So yeah. I feel that at the end of the day, for them, it's not such a big deal since they, obviously want to win the whole thing.
Yeah, and
even Olaf came out on stage and just said, we don't really care, we'll beat anyone you give us, so don't worry.
Yeah, and I mean, Astralis now are the only team to have all 3 lives left, and so this game does mean an awful lot for them. Let's not forget, you know, it is a one-horse race at the end of the day, right? And so with Astralis, if they can maintain this 3, if they win this game, all of a sudden things look great for them coming into like the end of today and tomorrow. So this is not only a big game for Astralis, but also Envy, if they want to, you know, play the long game, they need to take this life off now. I think that's something we have to remember. Going into Mirage as well, let's just start that discussion. I'll start with you, Lauren, surrounding like Mirage and the Danes kind of. You see Dupree's reaction when he said Mirage? There wasn't a whole lot of confidence on that map pick.
I don't know. I don't think coming in with like wild confidence is something that seems like an Astralis thing. I don't know why.
Yeah,
like
no,
they always
fair,
seem like
fair.
a very kind of like level-headed team, whereas obviously Envy 16-0, a little bit of a difference. But no, it's a good map for Astralis. So, but we haven't seen like I don't feel we've seen them play it a fair bit, but we haven't seen them play a kind of like a higher tier team on it. We've seen them kind of bashing the others, a super aggression coming out. And doing fine. There was nothing wrong with what they did, but I think this is the first real challenge we're going to see from them. I think that Envy are highly proficient at this. They played it once, I believe, already today. So I'm hoping that we kind of get to see a warmed up side from both kind of coming out on this one. And it'll be finally good to see them actually having a challenge on Mirage.
Just in general for Astralis, I mean, good to see them playing a game now where they have an option to lose a life. So far it's been pretty breezy.
I mean, these teams have met a couple of times. It's pretty equal, but in the last 2 times they met in Lithuania and in Minsk, EnVyUs beat them both times, and they played Mirage twice, and EnVyUs obviously won Mirage both times. So far in 2016, EnVyUs have a good record against Astralis, and it's going to be up to them to, you know, change that.
Okay, and I mean, when we're talking likelihood, that's where we usually go. When we say, I mean, it feels really difficult now in the analysis segment to not just be like, did you just see Fnatic? And have you know this Astralis story whereby we have been sitting there like, they aren't quite at that you know, reaching past the semi-finals team that we know that they can be, and it's been that kind of story for far too long now, where Fnatic just looks so good.
Well, the 1.0 counter to Yenko's is that the last time these 2 teams would play when EnVyUs and they met on a Mirage was that it wasn't quite the new formulated system that Astralis is running. It wasn't Device full-time on the op yet. It wasn't the shift in middle with Kerrigan getting out of window. So there is a change-up, which does mean that'll kind of, and EnVyUs is obviously going to be aware of that. It's not like they don't watch Counter-Strike. They know what's going on, and they'll have a read on it. But how exactly they play against it, the subtle nuances, and how in turn Astralis takes the aggression toward mid in a different approach, changes things, is yet to be determined. So there is a chance of a sort of the dark horse factor in this as well.
Yeah, and I mean, with Device going kind of full-time, we're going to be seeing that maybe that Kenny Device battle a little more on Mirage. Something to look forward to.
I've rarely seen them come out. I'm trying to think of the teams I've seen them play on this one yet, with Device at the helm, with the AWP, and I don't think I've really seen like a dominant AWPer challenging him yet. Like, especially from this event, like that can be moved aside, but even prior to that with him at the helm, I know they've had a couple of good opponents.
What do you mean, Lauren? They played against Flipside.
Markelov, #1 world.
We cry.
Baby.
It's like,
Well,
didn't he like pick up the
he
AWP
certainly
once?
is the best topper in that team.
Oh,
Let's put it that way.
World Edit, I'm
Well,
sorry.
World Edit's performance during the Pro League
It's
was
been pretty
absolutely
bad.
atrocious, to
Right.
be fair. But yeah, no one's really tested him. I think this is going to be a nice display to see if Device can find that, and if he can, you know, find his role against Kenny. If Kenny actually goes for it, though.
Another interesting thing I picked up is that Kerrigan also moved to Catwalk, and now it's Cage and Device and Dupree playing the A side. So it seems to me that Astralis is trying to, you know, have the same lineup for all the maps. Kerrigan and Zipnix playing towards the smaller bomb site, and the other 3 players playing towards the larger bomb site. So that's also an adjustment that is being made. In my eyes, Astralis, in order to beat EnVyUs on this particular map, they have to, you know, find a way to cope with their early aggression and their, you know, the run and gun play style of Apex and so on. They have to force them to try and fall back on the strategic aspect of it, you know, try to force them to go for their smoke strats and so on, because that's maybe something that EnVyUs is still not 100% comfortable with.
And that's, of course, your closing thoughts. Just round that out with a prediction before I go down the line.
I'm sticking with EnVyUs.
Okay, so I mean,
Do you have a score?
the stats don't lie.
Do you have a score?
Why?
All right, that's fine.
I don't want
Why?
Matt, Lauren, nice and quickly for me.
Go
You
ahead,
first.
please.
No, you
have a-
first.
Okay, all right.
Ladies first.
Oh, thank you so much,
Such
sir.
a gentleman.
You are, and less people hear what
That's
you
why I
say
always let
outside
Alex
of
go first. This isn't quick.
Guys,
All
I
right,
need to get
quickly.
my foot on this. Come on.
Envy wins this one.
Okay.
All right, here's my prediction. Sorry, Happy. Astralis 16-0.
Big love for the Danes. We're going to throw over to Castas for this one then. It is going to be Henry and Moses. A nice pair for this.
It's an interesting pair.
Interesting pair. Well, interesting that Sadicus is going to go with the Danes again, 16-0. Already let him down once. That was a bit of a heartbreaker.
It was indeed.
But we do have a crossroads here in how these alliances are working out. This is like the big match that determines which one is really going to take control, not of necessarily decision making, but just the tournament overall.
Well, this is the thing. You said outside, they're going for the throat here. Instead of taking the easy route out and just getting rid of Vex, they want to say, well, do you know what? We're not scared of you. We're not going to just dance around the competition. We're going to make sure we go straight for you. We're not scared right now. The alliances are clashing finally. It's going to be an exciting one.
This alliance is stronger, Olaf believes. As he said, we're just going to send Envy up right against the best. And actually, it's pretty interesting because this is like that. The interaction, remember there was that triangle where there was like that, it was, when Astralis was TSM, where they could beat Fnatic, Fnatic would beat Envy, and Envy would beat TSM. So this is like that one part of that triangle. So very interesting to get back into this matchup. And on Mirage of all places.
Well, Mirage is going to be interesting. I'd say EnVyUs, in terms of previous matchups, I think they have got the edge in terms of Mirage lineups. I think they've been like 16-8, 16-14. They've got the upper hand here, but it all leads here. We have had some change of roles since then. It's going to be Device as the main AWP here on Mirage, going out head-to-head against Kenny S. Lots of aggression coming in this game. You're going to see some real exciting Counter-Strike. It's going to be definitely an interesting one to cast, and I think us casting it especially, it's going to bring a new level of insight here.
A new level of analysis.
It's going to be, I'm not sure what's going to happen, but it's going to be fun, whatever happens.
You're all along for the ride with us. Do you think, because this is what I'm curious about, this is a map that Kerrigan with the AWP has always been really dominant on, and with Device, we know he's taken over that role, but on Mirage, is he going to take that away from Kerrigan, or is that something where they're just going to prioritize a double up setup?
I think if you're going to go in with Device being the main AWP, you have to be consistent with that. You can't just say, oh no, actually I'm really good on this one. Actually, I feel like Device has been really spectacular this tournament, just controlling every single situation. He's dynamic, he utilizes his spawns. That's what you need from all. He needs that killer instinct. He's not being told what to do. He's coming in and saying, you know what, I'm doing this round. I'm going for this pick. I've got this spawn. And that's what you need. You need him to get that confidence and have across the map every single time. Just allow him to have that kind of control and keep his morale up and that sort of thing. And actually been doing that on Overpass especially, he showed yesterday, absolutely phenomenal. He's been doing it on Mirage as well. So this is Mr. Win the Night. I think it's obviously, it must be Astralis who won that. So they're going to be starting on the CT side here. But yeah, this is one of the best games of the day. Obviously, we saw Fnatic going up against Dignitas. That turned out to be an absolutely epic series.
That was really insane. That was ridiculous.
That was like one of the most hyped games I've seen in a while. Commiserations to Dignitas here, but I feel like this one's going to be just as good. And
it's nothing like losing to a sawed-off shotgun. To really put the nail in the coffin.
Just to really make it sting there. But looking like we'll be getting into this one. Oh, we've got an admin coming over.
Oh, so Zipnik needs assistance immediately.
Maybe the issues continue. We've actually had a pretty smooth day here today. There hasn't been any delays, really.
No, it's been fantastic.
No 90 FPS. Not yet, anyway.
Not yet.
So
you never know.
Those guys spoke up predictions. Where do you see this one going?
I like Envy in this.
Yeah?
I do. And I think I'll tell you a little bit why is actually the performance that MBK's had.
He's actually been sensational this tournament, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he's actually personally he's one of my favorite players to watch when he's having huge impact. I think he's a fantastic player, and when he's on fire and like he's playing like he has been just in that last matchup, yesterday. It's so hard to deal with a player like MBK.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, especially on Cobble yesterday against Fnatic. He's playing drop-down room by himself, one of the most deadly areas for Fnatic, and he's going toe-to-toe with them every single round. Really strong retakes as well. You're absolutely right. When MBK is on form, like it's a real spectacle to watch. He's great in the clutch situations as well, always stepping up. I think that's actually a very good point to see how he's going to perform here against Astralis. I think I agree. I think EnVyUs definitely have the upper hand going forward, but I'll be interested to see. Obviously, it's the first game of the day for Astralis here. Going to be getting warmed up, and it's probably the worst opposition to go up against to have a little warm-up here, but we'll see.
Yeah, this is no warm-up game, is it?
No, you have to go all in here. It's a best of one.
Well, and the important thing, too, for Envy, it's Yanko who always brings it up about, looking at the effect of Keo and Apex. When those guys really, they have some of their up and down games, and when those guys, both of them are down, this team really, really struggles to find any success on the T side.
It's that 1-2 combos, and they're going into bomb sites together. Kiyoshima, for me, has been a little bit questionable the last couple of months where I've seen him at tournaments. It seems like he's kind of lagging behind. But Apex, though, he steps up in so many key situations. So good. Just when they lose the first man, he sometimes finds 2 or 3 out of nowhere. It's really exciting to watch how explosive that guy can be.
Obviously, though, on a map like Mirage, that mid control is going to be so incredibly important.
What's going to be cool about that is we know these guys are going to be relentless with their CT aggression especially. They'll be showing a lot of presence there, and the AWP battles are going to be absolutely immense. We talked about Device taking over now, but obviously going up against the world's best. Kenny S, if he's on form today, this is going to be a really exciting battle there to see who will come out on top. It's going to be a really epic battle here. And like we said, Device side on the CT side, he's not afraid to go to B apartments, middle, connector, palace, you name it. He'll be going there and making things happen. So I'm sure
he really has seamlessly gotten into that
top star opper of your team role, where you are mobile, where you do control the map just by the fact that the opposing team doesn't know where you're going to be next. You can see the influence it has on the terrorist sides on where they move across the map.
Well, that's my favorite kind of AWPers. Like people talk about like players like one player comes to mind is Skadoodle. Like he has the talent to be like that, but sometimes it seems like he's a little bit apprehensive to actually make that work for himself. He has to be told what to do to get in those certain situations. It's something we discussed with Sean actually, saying like, something we have to tell him where to go. He doesn't have that killer instinct of like kind of controlling the map by himself. And Device definitely has that. He's more than happy to take control of every single round and make things happen. And that's what makes him such an instrumental player. And that's why I didn't really like it before with Astralis. I asked them before whether they felt like it was actually a downfall for them. Like almost every map, you've got Dust 2, you've got Cage and B AWPing towards Car, and then obviously, like you said, on this map normally it's Karrigan. And for me, it makes it a little bit inconsistent across the board. Like, so you're training one discipline and trying to be the world's best at it, and you're not doing it every single map. It kind of suggests that they're not confident in your ability there.
Yeah, and yeah, Device is someone who's just supremely confident. He's talked about it in interviews and everything. So we'll have to see the impact that has. I really think they're going to have a double op setup on this map. I think that's something we can see come out. Maybe saying one op isn't good enough to take on Kenny S2 is going to have to do it.
It can be very effective. Obviously, you have the stable AWPer who may be holding us down the B apartments or maybe towards short, and then you've got the player like Device going out, being versatile every single round, trying to lock down any executions that EnVyUs might have in mind here. But what we see from EnVyUs on this map as well, like they're actually more than happy just to walk into bomb sites like all day long.
Yeah.
They won't actually go for those executions. They're actually happy to do aim. It's a similar story for Astralis and their T-side as well. This is why it's going to be such an interesting approach in terms of the methodologies. It's actually quite equal in terms of the way they approach the map. We see Cage and B on the lower ramp, just more than happy just to walk up and challenge people on the bomb site, and more often than not coming out on top as well. It's a very loose play style, especially for Astralis as well. Dupree in that connector area, he seems to find a way into that area every single time. Like they got a great way of executing that mid control and getting him in there. And once he's in that position, it opens up so many windows of opportunity of what they can actually do with the map. He can stay there and covering them from short, put to smokes and actually control it, listen out for footsteps and rotations.
Yeah.
And then they can come in for an A split off that. Obviously got Cage and B towards a ramp as well. He can either be coming in for the pincer and the rest of the team through connector, or he can be coming in for the absolute backstab when they decide to go in towards B.
Yeah, and a lot of that is just all going to be based off gaining mid control, and that's why that battle in mid, whether it's aggression from the CTs or just terrorists trying to gain control of top mid with their AWP, it's going to be such a crucial fight throughout both sides of this map.
Do you know what I like as well about the pre-match interview? Finally, we're seeing a little bit of personality in these pre-match interviews. People actually giving a bit of trash talk, actually saying, you know, we're going to wreck them 16-0. I've missed that so much. Back in my day, like I used to be like our bread and butter, try and get in their heads of the opponents. Obviously, it's a little bit more like jovial here, having a bit of fun with it, saying we're going to wreck them. But I kind of get a bit bored of the same answers, saying, oh, no, they're a good team. It should be a good match. We hope we'll win. Actually, screw that. We're going to wreck these guys.
Well, it was Cajun who actually even wrote in chat. He was just like, 16-0, huh? That's a bit harsh. He's like, you guys have won a couple, but 16-0 is a bit much.
We're coming back on camera.
Oh, brilliant.
Why not?
Yeah.
Come on, bring it to me. Right. It is us.
Hello.
You can believe your ears. They are letting us somehow cast this together. So, we've given our predictions. We've kind of broken down every single aspect of the teams. We've talked about the map. What else you got for me?
Ooh, one thing we haven't touched on. I want to go talk about Cajun a little bit.
Okay.
Just mention that he said that in chat that he was a little bit insulted by the 16-0, but he's that player that we always say he can just have that map where he just dominates individually. We don't see it as often anymore.
Definitely has the potential to go absolutely crazy. Like he's like when he is like going absolutely nuts, like that guy can actually carry these guys. For every single round, he's finding 1 or 2 kills, but has been known to go very quiet as well. That's the problem for him. It's either lights out or doesn't really turn the lights on at all. So it's kind of, oh, hello. What was the update, sorry?
We're
going to
take a small break.
Take a small break before this goes off the rails. We will take a very small break, guys. There is a slight technical issue, so don't go anywhere. We'll be bringing you this epic series. It's going to be Astralis versus Team EnVyUs. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back very, very soon.
And welcome back. As you can see, we are back into the game. All 10 members are here.
There it is. It's happening. We have got a game on our hands. Of course, it is paused, but that just builds the tension, I feel.
Yeah, this is just a suspenseful moment.
Yeah, absolutely. So someone has to unpause it. A lot of chat coming in here. A lot of banter actually exchanged in the downtime.
Yeah, there was.
Like people saying that Karrigan, best window player, maybe calling out Device a little bit.
Or just a little bit of mind games to see if Karrigan, like at some point, he's just going to be like, no, Device, I'm getting the op this time. Get out of here.
They've tilted me. That's it. It's game over. Well, we'll have a look at the buy coming in. It is going to be Team EnVyUs on the T side here. Kenny S, he's had a really strong Tech 9 tournament, actually. He's been causing absolute havoc with that weapon. He will be upgraded to the Raid Boss. And we can see 4 sets of armor for Astralis and Carrigan on the HE and Diffuse gear here. It's looking actually like a very fast B-take coming in straight away from EnVyUs. So that's a straight up B rush here, no messing around.
Yeah, and Zipnix just eats a flash full in the face, and he sees them jumping out. He's got to find some position. Kio's already out into the bomb site. Zipnix does get that one in a second. Oh, and Device bails him out of a tough spot. That's a beautiful defense so far.
There it is. It's going to be a 3-on-1 situation. NBK now stuck towards short. Can't really do much with this. Has got the bomb to play with, but no real control of the map whatsoever. It's going to be the B-Rush shut down completely there. Device and Zipex doing absolutely incredible work. And we talked about it off there. Zipex is such a consistent player towards our bombs. Like, always good for 1 or 2 kills, and he stays true to form right now. Really exciting play from him, and Device is absolutely doing some fantastic work there.
It's his movement, and you could see it a little bit there inside that bomb site, making sure if Envy was going to swing on him, he was going to have backup over towards the market. So that's exactly where Device rotates to. And Zipnix lays him out perfectly for him.
So we didn't get a bomb plant in this round, but obviously Force Buy is pretty standard from EnVyUs. The problem is for me, they don't have a single like smoke grenade or anything to work with here. It's aggressive from Astralis, getting in towards that palace area. It's quite rare to see 2 players going in straight away like that.
Yeah, and you're right, no utility whatsoever on the Envy side. So these Deagles, NBK and Apex, they're going to have to find something, and NBK looks away just at the wrong moment.
The thing is as well, Happy's so renowned for being in that palace area by himself. Instead of going up, let's just completely shut this kid down. Let's make sure we get in there, kill him straight away, and then we won the round. You can see the bomb's still down in T-spawn. They don't really have any options here. This is the problem, like on these second round Force Buys, you want to have at least 2 smokes to give you that kind of potential to run on the site, plant the bomb in there and make things uncomfortable for the CTs. Right now, I just don't see what the options are right now.
Yeah, and look at the setup they were running, the tactics. There's no trades available. That's a good start. MBK punishing Cajun for even thinking about peeking.
Well, it is something to work with here. They do have 1 minute remaining with that bomb still down in T-spawn. We're going to have Kiyoshima coming in towards Connector with the Tech 9, but still, they need to find another frag here. And somehow, Apex got that far on the bomb site, uncontested, goes down eventually. Device is the one that deals with him, and we leave us with 2 players now. MBK and Kiyoshima still finally picked up the bomb. There it is. But I really don't know what the plan is here. You have Kiyoshima with some sort of positional awareness here in towards ladder room. But 30 seconds remain and no bomb going down.
Man, MBK's over at the A bomb site, and this looks like the only option that Envy wants to try and make this work is Keo getting a kill here, causing a fake, and he does find that kill. It does start to pull a rotation over, but not from the A site, just over towards jungle. And NBK, plenty of footsteps. Zipnix knows exactly where he is. He's going to fake it, and he can't get that kill. He does bring Zipnix down very low, but doesn't find it. So another round without a plant. Couple kills for Team Envy, but not a huge gain on that investment that they had.
Yeah, I found that really interesting, the approach they had to that one. Obviously, Astralis reading it very well, pushing 2 players into Palace, taking down Happy straight away, giving themselves a man advantage. And like we said, they don't really have much to work with here. This is going to be an almost throwaway round. No utility once again. Some P250s, and Astralis going to be setting themselves up nicely for the first gun round here. Got 5 rifles. Dupree with the only kit, but I'd be surprised if EnVyUs even got a kill in this round.
Yeah, once again, no nades, no armor. So there's really no plan. And once again, it's just like the last. They're all spread out across the map. So that strength that Envy always seems to have of trading their way into bomb sites, of entry fragging, they're all spread out here. They have to go for picks, and they have to do it with Glocks and a P250 or 2.
They're so famous on those second round buys, though. Maps like Cash and Mirage, especially. I think they did it in the previous game we saw today. They do all the smokes, plant inside the smoke, and actually run through with the Tech 9s. That's where Kenny S became so effective. And they run the second round kind of hands down in the first game we saw. But this time it's kind of a lackluster approach. Decent damage being done by Apex, but it's going to be shut down by Dupree.
Now it's going to be all up to this follow-up, and NBK is going to come up the ramp. He's very low. He might just have to hide. 1 member in Palace, and you can see Dupree just pre-firing that smoke just in case someone's lurking in it, coming around the corner at the right time.
One thing that's interesting, right? Most teams on those second round Force Buys, they'll keep their AWPer on like honest money. He won't actually get the armor, but EnVyUs seem more than happy to do that every single time. Get him fully invested, and it means he won't have the AWP. You've got the best AWP player on your team. Do you feel like that's an interesting decision for them? Do you feel like it's a silly one? You see it time and time again from EnVyUs.
I wouldn't mind it if it seemed like they had a tactic in that second round.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, if you're not going to do anything with the round, at least get your AWPer on the first gun round. And we'll have a look at the money coming in there. They can't get an AWP here. So Kenny S going to be settling for an AK. He has shown to me he can be reasonably handy with it, but it's just so godlike with the AWP. This puts Astralis in such a strong position going forward. Though it is, Device will be AWPing here, and we'll be seeing where he decides to go. Like we said, Happy, so famous for going in that Palace position, and Device, with a relatively decent spawn, could opt to go into that, looking like he made us go towards Connector straight away here. They can see decent buy coming in from EnVyUs. They have got 5 smokes, but no Molotovs can be so key on Mirage, flushing out players towards Shadow and towards the van area, example. So still a difficult round for them.
And we see a very passive setup out of Envy as well. Everyone very far back. NBK coming to group up with Kenny to try and take over towards mid, but this is where Device is opping. Kerrigan also on catwalk there to bail him out. A couple players coming from underpass, and that's exactly what Envy's waiting. This pop flash is going to force Device back, and that'll allow those underpass players to come out. And Device is just going to smoke it off, and he's going to concede it a little bit, not try and peer over, waiting for some spam. Actually just biding his time for the moment. And he actually misses NBK on catwalk, hiding in that smoke.
This is the thing. This is the classic mid control coming in now from EnVyUs, smoking out the window, taking control of connector as well, forced Device back. So now they have something to work with at least. You can see Kiyoshima making his way towards the B apartments, but look at dupreeh and T-Spawn. He's got all the way back. That's such vital information coming in now, and that first frag coming in from Kerrigan from the ladder room, that should seal the deal here as with dupreeh in that fantastic position.
Yeah, now it's going to be a lot on Xyp9x because these two players, Kenny's putting pressure on Xyp9x. He's playing right underneath the drop, but Kenny's going to win that battle. So even without an ult, they get into this B bomb site. It's in their control, and they're going to have a plant. So it is a 4-on-4. Kenny's brought very, very low. But happy on the lurk, he's got to find this kill, and that's going to be free. Cajun not prepared for it. You can see he was looking up at Palace as well.
Yeah, he's so used to that happening. This round's gone in the favor of EnVyUs. Even after dupreeh getting that vital information, Kerrigan opening things up. It just seems like Kenny S, we called him out for not having an AWP. He actually picked up 3 AK kills this round. So credit where credit's due. That's pretty sick. Device now, just with the AWP. We talked about Xyp9x as well, being so consistent in that B area. He's the one that gets taken down straight away and opens up the bomb side there. But it's a pretty clinical round there from EnVyUs.
And a free AWP to boot. So that's going to go into Kenny's hands. So beautifully done. 3 kills and a free AWP. Can't go too much better than that. And actually, Envy, despite not having too much success in the second or third round, they might have just forced a nope. And it's just as soon as I say that, it's going to be off. 2 M4s, a shotgun on the board. Very, very much a force buy, though. Famas, I mean, most of these players very low on utility. So later on in this round, they're really going to be struggling to find something to work with.
Well, they have got Device on that glass cannon and Cajun B with the Mag 7. I assume he'll be going close range somewhere. It's going to be him going towards the Palace area. This Device going aggressive in the BA Palace. We talked about him being so versatile here. It's Apex to respond straight away. And the man advantage, I would say this still does favor Team EnVyUs. As we say that, though, they actually get it as well. Cajun B drops and he's the Mag 7 player towards A.
Yeah, trying to get close up towards Happy, lurking in those halls. This time, he loses that battle. Well, just like last time, but it was the second round that he won that one out. Either way, 1-3, 4-on-3 situation, and now we talked about the utility, how that was going to start running low at the end of the round. You have a minute left. You have 2 flashbangs to work with. Your last smoke is just now used. Happy can be so patient on this lurk.
Yeah, they've got so much time to play with as well. They still have 3 smokes himself and a Molotov, and you see them kind of edging towards the B apartments here. We have actually left the B bomb site completely open. This is absolute horror show, and Happy once again, although he gets taken down, it's kind of fine. At this point, that will be the call for the team to go in towards B. They are going to be reacting right now. It's going to be Apex leading the charge. Now Xyp9x kind of out of position here, just with a Famas in hand to try and defend from the window area. Won't be challenging. Knows Kenny S has that AWP.
Yeah, they gambled towards that A bomb site, it seems, and they gambled incorrectly. So another plant for Envy, and are they going to go for this? It is a 3-on-3. They have 2 kits, but they have no real foothold to make this retake work. And Kenny with that AWP, with no smoke to block him off. I mean, oh, there's a good battle. Not sure what Apex was doing getting that aggressive, but that gives him a good advantage. And actually, even Kenny misses that shot. So now all of a sudden, a 3-on-2.
The problem is they were just waiting for the picks to come to them, and Apex is pushing through that smoke. It's such a gamble there, and the fact they had such a huge advantage, they could potentially throw it away here. It does go down to a 3-on-2. Xyp9x now making his way out towards Kitchen. He does get that first frag, taking down MBK, and now just going to be Kenny S with the AWP, stepping up, getting dupreeh, bomb ticking away now, but somehow gets a second as well, but it's not going to be quite enough. Kerrigan with a decent refrag there to secure the round for Astralis. And that was some really interesting decisions there from EnVyUs. I really don't agree with what Apex did there. They had such a strong foothold on the map. They knew it was a weak buy coming in from Astralis, and you feel like he didn't even have to do that situation. They had him smoked off. That's an advantage for them. It's the CTs that have to push through that. Why are you making that a difficult situation for yourself?
Yeah, and Kenny had the op on window, so he could have cut off any of the rotations that came in as well. Maybe they must have assumed it was going to be a save. Maybe Apex was trying to get a jump to go on a hunt for some weapons. But either way, it turns out to be a bad decision. That extra bomb timer allows Astralis have plenty of time for the retake. It also basically resets the economy. Wow. I mean, Envy's full bot into this round, but they've got 3 pistols, 2 Tech 9s, a P250, 1 Galil as well. So they have a lot of utility, but the firepower isn't necessarily there.
We've got Kerrigan going towards the top and middle as well. He's getting back up from Device, so he's just hunting for intel here. Not going to spot anyone in middle whatsoever. So you can just kind of hang out on this boxes now. Terra is probably not going to be aware he will be there. Looking like they're actually opting to go back towards the B bomb site. They did have some decent footing into this area of the map before. Kerrigan opens it up, taking down Happy, but now up to Xyp9x, playing defensive once again as MPK does answer back.
Yeah, Zipnik's completely blind, so once again, all of Astralis is stuck in the market, but the bomb isn't even at this B bomb site. Plenty of time for the remaining members to get over on the rotate. That's Dupree, who's still making sure that Happy's not going to be lurking out Hall, though Happy's already dead from middle. And Apex, once again, takes a corner, but this time he's not going to be aggressive. The bomb does get planted finally, so Astralis up to them to retake.
Wow. Well, we see similar mistakes made by EnVyUs this time. Quite a similar situation, just a man advantage for each team. You can see what happens here. MBK does face, and Dupree chimes in as well, taking down the AWP potential. And now Apex and Kiyashima don't really have much to work with. That should be the round over. Decent retake once again from Astralis. So that force buy, although they do get that entry kill onto Carrigan, they get the bomb down, just didn't really have enough to hold him off. When you've got 3 pistols, you're holding off a full rotation coming in with AWPs and M4s as well. It's very difficult prospect there.
Very, very interesting, actually, to me, is NBK just did the counterpoints interview with Thorn and our own YNK,
yeah.
And he mentioned that extra time on the bomb timer forces terrorists in post-plant situations to be a little bit more aggressive, to be a little bit more proactive. And you could see there, that's exactly what they did. They pop flashed in the market, they peeked, he doesn't get the kills, he does fall. But instead of forcing Astralis into coming out of these tight choke points, they're actually the ones taking the fight there. That's a couple rounds now where they've lost it.
Well, here it comes. It's going to be EnVyUs with the partial buy here. They do keep their money at around, what, 1,600 here. So I don't even think they will be able to buy next round with this. So it's an interesting one. And looking like they will be going for more of an A-sided attack. The bomb's still down towards T-Spawn for now, but it's Tech-9s and P250s. After this round, they will get $2,400. So won't even have enough to buy, so it's an interesting decision.
Yeah, and a huge lean towards this A site from Astralis. Zipnix is in window room, but Kerrigan, Dupree, and Cajun are all just waiting here. This is a triangle of doom set up very, very nicely. 2 towards connector, 1 in closet. That's Dupree just waiting for the execution to come in. The bomb is still on T-spawn, so Envy, they're just spread out across the map now looking for any kind of push before they decide to fall back towards A. The bomb is coming towards that site, so it is eventually going to be an A execution.
Well, they've got 3 smokes. You'd assume it's going to go on top of the steps towards jungle and CT spawn. Loads of flashbangs to work with. Chuck them over. Maybe they'll do that smoke that lands on the actual bomb site between the box there just to kind of guarantee a plant. That could be beneficial to them. We saw them do that earlier today, actually. Let's see where they go with this one. It's kind of obvious at this point. You can see the CT's completely stacked over to his A's bombs. They've got 4 players there. Device actually patrolling those B apartments, so this is a very strong setup here coming from Astralis.
Yeah, Cajun B blind, but there's Dupree. There's that bait and switch. It works perfectly for him. Now Cajun peeks out. He does fall to Happy, who comes out, but he's the last one left, and another kill with the M4. He's turned this into a 1-on-2, and he's got the HP to make this work with the armor as well. Just got to salvage that bomb. The only thing is he doesn't know where the second player is. He knows there's one behind the smoke, and he's going to just crawl out. Device has the angle underneath a gap, so no plant. They did get 3 kills, so they've done damage to the economy of Astralis. But 6-1 now for the CT side.
This is the thing. As soon as you get an AWP set up in B apartments like that, it's like a turret almost. And you have information towards the top and middle. They had 4 players going towards that A bomb site. It's just kind of telegraphed that's what was going on. Smokes came in kind of as predicted, trying to smoke off towards jungle and steps area and towards spawn, trying to make something happen there, but just a complete lockdown in terms of frags coming in for Astralis. So Team EnVyUs now will be going into the next round. They do have AK-47s and head armor here. And they did manage to do something last round, so let's see what they can do with this. 4 smoke grenades, Molotov, and this time he's got 2 players towards Palace. Happy's going to be joined by NBK, so a little bit of a change of presence here. Device back towards short.
Despite this huge lead for Astralis, their money is not as strong as you would probably like it to be. As we've seen basically this whole half so far, Cajun, he's got his eyes on apartment. He knows he's just waiting for Happy to make his play. He knows Happy's in there. But all of EnVy, this is a very B-heavy terror side so far of EnVy. They've gone here multiple rounds on all the important gun rounds and even some of their force buys. They've gone towards this B site. They've had success getting it. It's holding it that's been the problem. Astralis has been great on these retakes. And here's that turret. Now there's the mobility in the defense. They bring Device over with the AWP. He's even going to push forward and grab a new angle. But this is going to allow his teammates to cheat over and provide a bunch of attention towards middle.
This is the thing, Zipex is spotted off short as well. He saw Apex jumping up, so you can almost guarantee many players will be towards that area. It's looking like the A-split coming in. Connector going to be the main area of contention for the looks of things, as Apex will make his way into there, but they're getting towards short as well. It's going to be Kenny S with that AK-47 and taking down Carrigan. Zipex replies straight away though. It's still a 4-on-4, but Terrorist, no real objective as of yet. They've got 30 seconds remaining.
Oh, and Happy's still on this lurk, still so patiently biding his time. Dupree's got his eyes on it now, but a lot of pressure is going to be coming up connector. NBK is towards Catwalk, and that's actually keeping Zipnix over at this B bomb site. He's fully committed. Here comes the A hit. Up connector, Cajun's got to get these kills. He sprays 1 down, can't get the second. Keo does get him in the end. Happy's out of Palace as well. And Dupree not able to grab that kill, so the plant is going to go down. Both Astralis members rotating from the B site, stuck behind a smoke.
So it's a shame that the plant coming in very nicely. Control of the connector area helps him out tremendously. Dupree, a strange decision from him, jumping through, flashed himself, I think. and he will be taken down by Kyushin. And now this is almost certain round for EnVyUs. You can see that CTs don't really have much to work with. Device on 1 HP. And I think Dupree, that's kind of the Hail Mary play from him at that point, right? He needs to flash someone off. It looked like he flashed himself. He was jumping through and got completely taken out. But there we go. EnVyUs, it didn't really seem like they had an objective, but holding that mid area, bossing up through, and like you said, Happy is so patient towards that area. He's coming out, getting a lot of the attention as they're coming up through connector. It's a great pincer onto the bomb site. The plant comes down effectively, and Astralis is kind of locked out of the round in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, Kenny gets that 1 kill, and in a 4-on-4, when the defense is so spread thin like that, it's just applying pressure, just worries the Astralis player. So NBK doesn't even have to commit towards moving up into that B site. He just makes his presence known, and that pulls Zipnix just deeper into it, and they play a 2-2. And that weakens the A defense, obviously, so they do take that. And actually, I like this save call because with the economy that they had, Device is able to drop 1 weapon over, so now they can have 1 more buy before they're going to be forced into a save if they can't win this one. But still no AWP on Kenny and a Mac 10 on NBK. Could he have a bad read?
Oh, this is what I'm about to say. They're assuming they're going to be low money here, but the Mac 10 normally used as a recon weapon. You can see players from Astralis making their way up towards middle, waiting for flashbangs to come in. It's going to be Cajun B and Carrigan sat there. Dupree towards the lower ramp. And this looks like another fast A hit coming in from EnVyUs, looking like they're poised and ready just to run in before the smokes even bloom here. It's going to be Dupree. Somehow gets one. Should be taken out with the smoke actually benefiting him here. And he does get neutralized by that Mac 10 in the end. It's going to be Carrigan on the full rotate, but the bomb has been taken down, so it's bought them some time.
Yeah, now Device, he's not smoked off. NBK does have one, hasn't come out yet, and there's the punishing play. The off is not blocked off. Oh, a second shot. NBK, get out of here, says Device. Nice headshot onto Nathan. And it's just down to Kenny.
3 kills for Device that round, and I think that was a little bit of a misplay from EnVyUs. I think they assumed they would be on little to no buy, but they did save weapons. That's why it's confusing that they were like, well, if they had saved that, they knew they got an AWP anyway. The fact they're going into the bomb site with no, like they're going in before the smokes even bloom, you're setting yourself up for a massive disaster anyway. If the AWP they're waiting for you towards spawn, it's going to be such easy kills. And Device stepping up here massively. This second shot was just something to behold.
NBK had a smoke. He could have used one if they were a little bit more patient. I don't know if they thought that it had been smoked off by the time that first player tried to cross, but either way, I mean, back onto a force buy for Envy.
Been a lot of force buys this game for them, so 1 AK on Happy.
Are you surprised, Henry?
I'm not surprised, but it's definitely an interesting call this time. A Mac 10, an AK-47 and Tech 9s. They've been favouring that B-bomb side. They're going for a quicker A attack here. Smokes are down. They should be able to get a plant here. Looking like CTs have been kind of sectioned out. As they're saying that, though, Cajun B with a double spray down. Interesting as the bomb yet to be planted. It is on the site right now, just trying to edge its way into the planting zone. I think it's getting planted right now. Apex does take down Dupree, and it's a complete bloodbath on the site here. Somehow, though, EnVyUs, Kenny S stepping over that tech line once again. He's so strong with that weapon, somehow finds a foothold in every single round.
Well, speaking of weapons he's strong with, he now salvaged an AWP. So this is an interesting play from Zipnix, who's got a wrap around from CT spawn. Plenty of time to work with, 1 minute. Cajun can't be aggressive, and he could just get spammed down. That's a nice find from Happy. Good game sense. Kenny's got to be very careful when he chooses to peek away, and it's just at the right time. And I think he just spotted her now. He's holding the crack. There's a good kill from Kenny, and finally the force buy pays off. A 3rd round for Envy, and this is going to be a tough buy if Astralis decides to go for it. Device is only on 1700, but outside of this, and they are going to go for it. So it's a shotgun again on a Dupree. The 2 M4s, Cajun and Kerrigan have those. Zipnix should have a shotgun instead of FAMAS, and then an upgraded pistol on Device, but I mean, they don't have much in terms of even utility. 2 shotguns and no real, not even a lot of flashbangs to work with.
Well, it's an interesting setup as well. They're sending 4 players aggressively in towards A Palace as well. Happy just ready and waiting there. He takes down Device. It's a nice approach for them. They did it again on the second round, trying to take him down as quickly as they possibly can, but this time doesn't really work out as well.
Yeah, but look at this position by Cajun. Is NBK going to be prepared for this? He is. He pulls out the gun in time, but Cajun gets the kill. Just falls away. That's a bomb he can't really defend.
At least they know what's going on the map now. So you can see the T's. Although the bomb's been dropped, they're actually more than happy to push into these B apartments. They want to see if there is a player rotating and reacting to this bomb being dropped. Carrigan's just going to be waiting there now. Bomb is recovered. And now the CTs are all to play for. They're kind of on the ropes here. You can see Carrigan's down to 8 HP. He's defending that B site. He has got backup now in the form of Zipex, but he gets dropped once again. And now this B bomb site is going to be incredibly hard for Carrigan to do anything with.
Yeah, Zipnix misread the speed of that attack. With no HP on his teammate to support him, he had a nade out, and he gets killed for free, essentially. So this force buy on the other side, on Astralis side, actually Cajun runs through the smoke, grabs that kill. 2 on 3. Can't get the second one, though. There is a shotgun, but it's all the way in A. Happy is still lurking back there.
Helps that Palace area. that's one of the things of players like that, like it's on Cobble as well. You know he's going to be dropped down every single time. You know he's going to palace every single round. But the way he plays the game and the way his teammates are able to sell such convincing fakes, you always think to yourself, oh, it can't be this time. Surely he's not going to be there again. And he reads the game so well. Such great awareness. That time in palace, he sits for the pushes to come in, takes that first kill down, and it just causes such chaos for Astralis.
Well, that was a sick position. You could see how often he spends and the amount of work he's put into that. The position he's holding for that Halls push from Astralis is a place where he can isolate 2 one-on-ones.
Yeah.
So he's not going to get overwhelmed even if they push multiple players into it. And then from there, it's almost like throughout this half, he's just like messing with their minds because you could see how much they're committing towards flushing him out of that palace.
Well, here we go then. We go for another saved AK on towards Dupree here. I'm pretty sure they won't fully invest into this again. It's getting to that scary point now. Force Spy is not really working out, so going to be down to Dupree. Definitely a man who could make something happen here.
And this is classic Envy. Even when it doesn't look successful, Astralis jumps out to a big lead, but they just grind your economy down. You never have solid wins, and even these Force Spies.
It's going to be Dupree challenging this time, getting the better of Happy, and actually exposing himself a little bit more than he did last round, and that's the first kill going in their favor, but still so much work to do here. Here comes a reaction straight away. EnVyUs, no, they've lost that first kill, but HB is doing some serious work here for CZ.
This is a huge stack that EnVyUs got to break up, and Apex, of course, is going to be the one to stroll in and grab 3 quickly. That could have been a really dicey situation.
It's actually a really cool play, though, because Astralis, obviously, they know that they've got 1 AK to work with. EnVyUs know that as well. They get that first pick. They've established where the AK is. Even though they've lost the man, okay, well, we know where that AK is right now. Let's just get into the B bomb site. It can't be there. And make it work as well. Just completely smother the CTs on that B bomb site and get their 5th round here. And the money's still not fantastic, you know, for the CTs. They got Famises, no kits so far. Definitely won't have an AWP. It's going to be Device now. Oh, good go. Okay, fair enough. He does.
Dupree sacrificed armor to drop that AWP over that. The players must not hear the music because they're not moving across the map to the beat whatsoever. Still very passive from Envy and T-Spawn.
There it is.
And it is over. The rave.
No problem. It just added to the cast, in my opinion. And there we go. I missed what happened was going on. So Device has picked up the first frag with that AWP. And now EnVyUs looking like they're committed towards the A side of the map. They still have smokes, and Kenny S on the AWP as well. He's looking for that first pick, waiting for the smokes to dissipate. And you can see the reactions coming in from the CTs right now. They have got the man advantage, but we have got Carrigan pushing off short, waiting for smokes to dwindle and see whether he can get any intel for his teammates there.
NBK is going to be the interesting position because he's taken mid control essentially by himself. They threw the smokes like they're going to have multiple people here, and they're allowing Kenny time to work into this A bomb site. You mentioned this. They like to come up this A ramp with no warning, and they have, and they've kind of pinned Device down, but there's Dupree. In closet, grabs Keo. One more on Halls. That's going to be happy to drop him and open things up. 4-on-3 situation, and actually there's no smokes for the Envy side to cross into the site once again, so they're going to have to battle their way here.
Well, the good news is they're killing everyone in their path. It is a 3-on-2 in their favor, and now Cajun B, that'll be the last one. Mini drops the bomb as well, definitely has a chance to do something with it. So that play in towards the A bomb side, like, it's one of those things to be like, if it works and you get that first enemy kill, it looks amazing, looks like you surprise the CTs, but the problem is you've got so many areas to cover off there. You don't know what's going to be going towards CT spawn. You haven't got anything segregated. You aren't flushing any CTs out. It just comes down to that raw aim battle coming into it. And obviously a team like EnVyUs, they can get away with that all day long, but it's such a risk to take going into it. Like, obviously, it's obviously the factor of going in that full surprise. You're taking the CT potentially with nades in their hands, or maybe going for a little stack somewhere. And now though, it's going to be EnVyUs breaking the economy of Astralis once again. Just pistols and body armor to work with. So surely around they can take it and even things out.
Well, Happy's going to get him off to a good start. 1 kill on a Dupree, but no commit anywhere. Still just full mid control. NBK, Kenny, Apex, all 3 of them at the top of mid just waiting. Happy's going to fall all the way back from the A bomb site. He only has 2 HP, so Cajun's actually pushed up to try and get that refrag. Device looks like he's coming with him.
When you have these like pistols, you've got nothing really to work with. I prefer like something like an objective to be played, right? Whether you're facing towards middle with a flashbang or you're stacking a bomb site, when you spread out like this, I really don't see what kind of opportunities you have to make something happen here. So as I said, that they have pushed lower ramp towards A. It's going to be Cajun B leading the charge. Happy waiting for them though, completely punishes him. He has dropped, he was on 2 HP, but as I said before, now they're going into the B bomb, so there are 2 CD players waiting for them. Maybe Carrigan can do something with this. He has got flash in white, that will be dropped by Kiyoshima, and that should be the round tied up. Should be still working there. Device all the way on the other side of the map, won't really be able to do anything. It's going to be 7-7 here, so after a really strong start coming in from Astralis, they did go 6-1 up like you said, is grinding the economy down, forcing those difficult buys for Astralis coming in. And slowly but surely, they've equaled things.
Yeah, it just plays to their strength, grind the economy down, and now, I mean, Astralis hasn't been able to get back on it. Even when they had an op, they sacrificed armor to get it. Once again, now, no, Kerrigan's going to buy armor to it, but here's the double op setup. Now the full losing bonus in their power. 2 ops come out, one onto Kerrigan, one onto Vice.
Kerrigan has got the decent spawn as well. He could be the player going into the apartments, or obviously he's famous playing that window/short area. Let's see where he will be opted to go. Device, on the other hand, will be actually playing window, so you'd assume that means Kerrigan going towards the B apartments there. Actually could work out, you know. They've got players there, but he's completely flashed off. It's a B rush. Going to be incredibly hard for him to hold off here. He needs to find his first kill. Going to get shut down. Manages to get Kiyoshima and stays alive as well. That shot would have been incredible, but manages to miss it. Is happy answering back, taking down the other B player in the form of Zipex.
Yeah, but it's so hard for him to stay alive for much longer, and actually even Device was the next closest one on the rotate, and with an AWP, you can't get into the site to help bail him out, so EnVyUs eventually takes him over. And now in a 4-on-2 situation, there's not much left for him to do here.
No,
they have to go for this.
This round's over. It's done. Like, I like the idea behind it, but that's just a perfect play from him. Just go for the B-rush. It's the flashbang that completely owns Kerrigan there.
Right.
Like, he takes a shot. It's like a 50-50 considering how many players he had on the screen whenever he gets that first kill. Had he have done that, they had a real good chance of taking that round. But he drops down, gets one, but you just saw the relentless flashbangs coming over time and time again. He was stuck there. Zipex unable to step up, and it just meant the round was just completely over at that point. And he needs to be finding that entry kill to even give them the call at least, and then to fall back and have enough time to work with.
Yeah, that's essentially just a blind counter from Envy, especially because they switch into a double up for the first time in that half. So Device is no assistance on the rotate over. And that ends 8-7, unlikely when we saw the scoreline at the beginning.
6-1. And actually went down to 7-2 as well, and then they just grind out the last 7 rounds completely, just completely
suffocating offense once they had economic control.
Yeah, that's it completely. Like, they had a lot of difficult rounds. You remember how many double shotgun situations we saw, and like difficult rounds, and they're going into it and trying to take down Happy towards Palace, and he was just actually having a lot of fun with it, it seemed as well.
Oh yeah, he loved it.
Yeah, and the fact, like, that's the thing. Once he gets in your head like that, and you're actually just thinking about taking him down with 2 players every single time, that's when they'll start rushing B. That's when they'll start doing the fast mid plays, because they know you're going to be committing so many players there. And then as soon as Happy said, yeah, they've got 2 in apartments. Okay, well, we'll just go towards middle, and we'll just actually just go towards short and lock them down. So that's what's so good about Happy. Like, he gets in the players' heads like that, and it's actually quite a spectacle to watch how he can achieve such tremendous results with the same idea almost every single round.
Yeah, delay rotations, prevent a stack at the other bomb site.
Yeah.
It's incredible stuff. So that was just a really well put together half by Envy, but we should say that defense by Astralis to open things up, it was fantastic until they ran out of money, obviously, but that half was on a knife's edge for Envy. If there's a force buy they don't win there, what round was that where they won that final force buy?
I think it was round number 8. That's when they actually went for the Tech 9s and everything on that.
And then Astralis won the next, and then another force buy came out. So either one of those force buys fail, that economy does not get broken until much later in the half.
That's the whole thing. They're living life on the edge. They want to. That's what they do. They're confident in their ability. You see there on the screen right now, looking very relaxed. And I feel like Astralis, after having that huge lead, were feeling a little bit flustered towards the end. They couldn't really get back into the game. Device started off very strongly as well. He actually finished on 15 frags. Kerrigan, maybe not adjusting to this new role as efficiently. He goes down to 6, but
yeah,
there it is. Kenny stepping up. He actually had some really impressive AK rounds. He didn't have the AWP too often there. Towards the end he did, but those rounds they were picking up earlier on, like he was actually the one getting 3 or 4 frags. It's actually
he was the one entering. They're like, all right, Kenny, when you don't have the AWP, you're going to be our new entry.
Yeah, it's crazy that fact. Like, I know he can be very proficient with them, but like the kind of carrying that extended some of the key rounds, it's actually very impressive for him. So if you are wondering what the hell's going on, we don't actually know. I think there's some sort of delay.
Happy ran off somewhere. He's coming back.
The toilet break, I assume?
Yes.
So don't go to the toilet before the game. That would be too convenient. Do it half-time, slow it right down, and leave thousands of people.
Well, listen, it's almost like punishing themselves. They just won, what, 7 in a row? 6 in a row?
Yeah. Well, we did see Astralis take the first pistol. It was actually that B fast execute from EnVyUs into the bomb site. It looked very successful. It was a great retake from Astralis to get them into this. I'll be interested to see where Astralis go with this one. We've actually seen EnVyUs like opting for just to going like, do you know what, 5 sets of armor, even on the CT side. A lot of teams are doing that right now. I'm not really sure the approach is behind that. Obviously, like, you want to at least have 1 kill. I know we've got the extra 5 seconds now, but still, yeah, you get an extra 10 seconds with the defuse
or the nades.
Yeah, well, that's the thing as well. Like, HE seem very viable and pistol rounds right now as well. You can see Kiyoshima 3 sets of armor so far. We have got 5 sets of armor for Astralis. So once again, this will be another fast and loose round. Not really much to work with. They've got some decoys. That's about it. Looking like they're going to be splitting between the B apartments and middle here.
Or coming up underpass going
Yeah, it could
connector.
underpass and like swarm in, but the thing is they haven't got anyone towards A ramp or Palace, so it's an interesting approach to see what they'll do here. We have got Kiyoshima on the kit and the HG, and they have got Zipex towards the B apartments with the bomb joining him as well. So they're looking for that first pick. The problem is Happy is going to be lying in wait there.
They've done the damage, and they've also spotted the bomb. No rotation, though. That feels like a fake, but now here come the 3 members of Catwalk. This B bomb site is going to be in so much trouble, but Happy with the assassination gets one. Can he find another? They do finally swarm up the van behind him. They haven't killed him yet, though. He's staying alive somehow. Can't land any of the shots, of course. There's Keo on the rotation over. He grabs it down to a 3-on-2. Astralis still pushing into the site. It's not in their control, but Cajun just establishes a foothold. Now they're just going to be able to drop Kiyoshima with a simple trade.
And there it is. They go for the 5 sets of armor, choose their bomb site, going up towards B apartments and short as well, making sure they got that first pick. It was MBK went down to 1 HP in the very first incident, and Happy with that great position. Unfortunately, only gets 1 kill. Like, that's the kind of position you need to be finding 1 or 2, have that trigger discipline, but it's so hard. As soon as you get 1, you're going to get locked down at that point. So the idea is MBK like should be on the bomb side, kind of baiting in Happy. Obviously, once he went down to 1 HP, that kind of potential gets thrown out the window there. But we do go into the second round, of course. Kenny S actually not buying head armor this time. Normally we will see that from him, and it's actually time and time again, especially at Starlight, if you remember, against Navi. That's when they actually threw a lot of games away, especially towards the end.
I know that's something they've made a point of getting under control, is changing that style of punishing themselves with these force buys.
Like I don't mind the force buy so much, is when you actually stifle your AWP and then you've been given the opportunity to have the AWP in the first gun round. That's when it really gets interesting. But MBK pushing the apartment, somehow getting that first kill and making things interesting onto Device as well.
He's actually controlling that battle. Yeah. Forcing Device all the way back as well with an AK-47. MBK hasn't even taken a single point of damage. So he gets that kill and he just runs off. So 5-on-4 now for Envy. And look at how far back on the map Astralis is right now. They felt so much pressure from that push into the B tunnels. This has bought a lot of time for Envy.
Let's see what Astralis can do to come back here. They do have 2 smokes, but you can see they're sheepishly pushing through the B apartment right now. I assume with the fact they have Dupree holding middle, they just go for a B attack here. He can hold out of any rotation. That means there's only 1 place of contention for the CT to come back through. So that's what I assume is going to be happening here. We have got NBK jumping up. He has spotted 2 players now. That's going to give the call off to his players, and that's the problem is they've already rotated onto the bomb site.
Yeah, NBK does fall. Apex is here as well, though, and he's hiding in the box, waiting for anyone from Astralis to uncarefully get into the site. Not able to find that easy kill, though. Dupree covers nicely. There's Kerrigan going to get the plant down. And like you said, only 1 avenue for this retake. All 3 members of Envy in the market. This is going to be tough.
Yeah, so not really much to work with here. They have invested in head armor. So I'd just say at this point, to save those guns, get the Desert Eagles. We can definitely do something with the next round. We saw how they got their opening pick on the Zipex, but a nice... I like the approach now, actually. So holding towards middle, you know exactly where they have to rotate from, and you lock it down with the superior weapons there. It's going to be Kenny S going down to 39 HP. I think he will be dropped here as well. Dupree will take him down, and it's just going to be Kiyoshima and Happy with Desert Eagles and head armor as well. So just going to be saving those to the next round. So well recovered there. We saw Zipex get dropped, and then you saw Device actually, to be fair, he could have got the refrag, but had he have died in that situation, that's when things get really dangerous for them. Right. A 3-on-5, so I guess he's just trying to play the percentages game. So we have dropped a man, but we have such an advantage in terms of the equipment here. So I'll just bow out of this fight, and he came back into it, and they win the round. So EnVyUs now don't really have much to work with. Those Desert Eagles, but on players like Happy, we've seen it time and time again. It's actually against this TSM lineup, if you remember on Inferno. Yeah. Definitely can cause some destruction.
They'll be remembering that one for a long time.
Yeah, I think so.
Either way, 9-8. They cannot afford to drop the ball right now. They have control of the economy. Even Kenny's a little bit low in terms of money for the next round. If he wants to get an AWP, it's more than likely going to be a glass cannon.
Well, if he gets a couple of kills this round, that's obviously the objective, right? If he can boost his bank account with that P250, we'll see what he can bring to the table. So far, another passive round coming in. Cajun B holding towards A, looking for any pushes here, and it's actually a 4-man stack from EnVyUs. Just MBK jumping up towards the B apartments once again.
Just full map control for Astralis. They don't want to do anything quick. They're just waiting to see if there's going to be any more of that aggression that they just saw last round. They want to make sure no one's going to be pushing up B. No one has some kind of crazy aggressive play that's going to find information, allow Envy to stack into the wrong bomb site. All that, you know, doesn't really work out because the right bomb site is stacked anyways out of Envy.
Well, they have got 2 smokes to play with. Cajun B's with one of them in the apartment, so it's looking like a contact play. This basically means you walk into the bomb site until you're spotted by the CT, and then the explosion comes in, and you lock it down. And there it is. They find the first 2 frags as well. It's a very clean execution. It can be the most effective way to actually attack Challenger and anti-eco. The fact you know they're going to be stacked up, holding very tight angles, and they don't want to face it. They want to give away. They've got a stack there, right? So if you take away the fact that you're telegraphing everything, you're walking in and finding that first frag, and that means the stack almost becomes redundant in that stage.
Yeah, and NBK with this pistol just going to go for an exit kill, I imagine. Maybe see if he can get an AK-47, somehow get lucky enough to grab one and run away with it. Deal a little bit of damage. This is a spot that you can't really run away from, but actually if Dupree, he's the only one here now, so if he chooses to evacuate through middle, this might catch him off guard. But actually he's going to just fall away up the stairs, so wisely goes to group up with his teammates.
It's definitely a spot he could have got a kill from there, but like I said, not giving anything away here, just MBK with the P250. And it's going to be 3-0 in favor of Astralis, so they will take the lead here, 10-8. After losing the last 6 rounds of the first half, they are bouncing back here. So Kenny S has exactly enough for a glass cannon AWP. Literally nothing else can be purchased, but he can get the orb. And for him, that's more than enough.
Is it? He seems to be considering it right now.
I think he should do it. Come on, let's live a little.
Yeah. Well, they lived on the edge in the first half. Might as well go for it in the second half as well.
Still thinking about it. There it is. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, that a boy, Kenny.
Let's see what he can bring to the table here. Literally living life dangerously as he goes towards a window. Presumably smoked off towards the top of middle momentarily, but for now he does have vision. No all purchase for Astralis. They're going to be sticking on their Khalils and AK-47s, trying to build up that bankroll. Bomb still down towards T-spawn. This suggests that they are actually waiting for any sort of positional awareness from EnVyUs, any sort of aggression coming in, trying to see whether they got a mentality here. And even the smokes, and interesting enough, the bomb's still down towards T-spawn here. So in terms of what they're actually bringing to the table, this is more of a fake. They're trying to bleed out the CTs a little bit as they make their way up towards short as well. They're just getting control of the map. Those smokes come down. It takes the vision away from the bomb side towards connector, so they can't see the players coming up towards shore.
That's so smart. What a play. The smokes come out to simulate an A execute, so Kenny rotates away. All the Envy members' attention is on those smokes at the A bomb site. Meanwhile, Device and Zipnix just rush up catwalk for free. Don't get a single battle, but Kenny comes back as the smoke fades. Device is right in the open, so he gives away the advantage. There is still Zipnix in the ladder room, so he's gained that position. Dupree also just walking up connector. No one spotted this. Apex is close to ramp. He could just be a free kill, but Dupree can't really check that.
This is great positioning from him. You can see Kiyoshima rotating in. He won't have any idea that Dupree's made it to this sort of area. And it's just a matter of timing. Oh, this could actually work out. He was for the barrels. This is a free kill for Dupree, sorry. And it comes back down to the 4-on-4 after Device gave his kill away. Apex, so nice positioning. Will take the bomb down as well. And he will be picking up this lower ramp area.
This is not good. Kenny finds one. There's no utility left on Astralis members, and Apex is just buying time.
Yeah, not really much to do here. Kenny S gets his third of the round, so that glass cannon paying off massively here. Just going to be Cajun B with the bomb in the end, but EnVyUs, after what we saw, it looked like such an interesting and creative way to get up towards shore there. Like I said, the smoke's coming down to simulate that A presence and the A take coming in. It actually pulled away the AWP, but for some reason, after they get that positional control of ladder room, like undetected, right? Device goes back and faces window and gives Kenny S essentially a free kill there, but Kenny S stepping up with 3 kills to take the round down. And it felt like Dupree, once he got that positional control of jungle, he potentially could have done something more exciting with that, but applying the pressure, Apex going up straight towards middle, going to be using their smoke against them as he goes to the straight face. What a sick shot that was as well to take down Carrigan. And that opens up the round. Now they can just fall straight back and get into more of a passive mentality.
Yeah, what a reaction. Another man advantage now for Envy. Last time it was Kenny. This time it's Apex who shuts down Carrigan. So Astralis is forced all the way back towards T-spawn. 3 members here. Device just coming out of the halls now. They've got to reconvene. They've got to figure something new out, and they want to regain mid-control. They want to force Kenny out of this window, and this is going to be a battle. Almost looks like Device just wants to take it, and that's a little bit scary. Don't want to lose a second member, and they do just swing out, but Kenny has evacuated anyways. So now they're going to put up a late smoke. Now they have that mid-control just ceded to them by Envy.
This is the thing. They know they've got the man advantage. They want Astralis to work with this. They had little information there. They're going to be making their way towards connector. We talk about Dupree loving this area so much. Going to get in uncontested for now. The rest of his teammates actually joining. We have one player. It should be Cajun B towards that lower ramp. It's a pretty classic setup for them. Smoke go towards jungle. Kiyoshima, can he step up?
Oh, he's getting aggressive. He sprays down the first one. He gets immediately traded, though. It's a wide angle taken by Dupree with that jump, but still, they have Kenny has to deal with. He's not smoked off. He is Molotov'd out of position. That does the job just perfectly. Flash is going to blind him as well. There's still one under the balcony to deal with. That's Happy, and he hasn't moved. Still just lurking towards this palace like he was in the first half, but he gets dropped by Zipnix, and now the flank can go down into 3-on-3. Cajun does get damage through the box, and Kenny's trying to find something, but it's not happening.
Well, here we go, and the 3-on-3 begins. We have got Kids and an AWP as well. It's Device to take down Apex to open things up. NBK now aggressively coming on the side, but that's going to do it. It's going to be a 3-on-1, 13 HP. NBK with no real chance going into this one. So after losing the first man, they actually just group up towards middle, slowly but surely gain control of middle, get towards connector, and that really nice play. This is a simple execution there. They've got Cage and B on the lower ramp, kind of just patrolling them, waiting for rotations. Anyone trying to come out of CT spawn, he's ready to take them down. Smoke off jungle, one flashbang does it. It's a simple trade between Kiyoshima, and then they swarm the bomb side with a decent plant towards ramp as well. And the CTs have had such a hard time pushing through the smokes there and trying to make something happen. But that's going to break the economy of EnVyUs now. Back down to pistols. And we'll see what they bring to the party, because they're going to be doing a 3-2 setup. It's going to be NBK aggressive in the B departments there.
Yeah, dupreeh gets that first entry though. That's on to NBK. One more towards Catwalk. They've seen him. The rotation's in as well. One in Market. He does fall to dupreeh, so dupreeh not taking any chances. A third kill as well. Nicely done. And this actually, that last round win for Astralis broke the economy in the worst possible way. It might have to be a double save. Couple members on 1,400, 1,500.
Yeah, so you're only getting $1,900 next round, right? So you're like, unless it's another crazy force buy coming in, you can see they've got about $3,600 average across the table. So they can buy it with this. It would just be an absolute nightmare of a buy. I think they're actually showing some discipline for once. They're actually going to be thinking, you know what, guys? This would actually put us in a horrible situation if we were to lose this round after a force buy. So just going to get some upgraded pistols here. A little bit of utility as well. Smoke grenade on Kiyoshima. Apex going for some body armor here. So I'm interested to see what they do. Maybe with that flashbang, you could push up towards middle and try and go for that first frag. So it's going to be Apex leading the charge, but Device, you're too fast, my friend. He takes down Apex as he's jumping out the window. Dan must have had a very decent spawn to get there before the CDs can drop down. And now that gives full control back to Astralis here, as Kenny S has been smoked out of the window area.
Yeah, meanwhile, Zipnik's dupreeh and Cajun just casually walk out Palace. They're going to get a plant for free.
Hello.
Throw a smoke at his teammate's head. Drills him. So they do get the plant down. dupreeh has control of CT spawn, so that's not a worry. Any attempt at a retake or any damage to the economy is going to come from connector.
Well then, there's pistols on the
dupreeh.
retake, but there's Molotovs absolutely everywhere. And yeah, dupreeh has... Oh, look at this standoff.
dupreeh doesn't know.
Does Happy know?
I don't believe Happy does.
Wow. Who's going to give in first? It's got to be... Happy's so patient. Why is this man so patient? He loves it. And most players would just have to have a little face, but at this point, you know, he'll just sit there all day long.
Do you ever notice that Happy just always looks so exhausted? He just fell asleep for a little bit. He's taking a nap.
It's time to chill out.
This round's over. Give me 30-second nap. Yeah, as it would.
He knows how important a gun will be to boost their economy next round. I think if I can get an AK here and stay alive.
There it is. There it is. It doesn't pay off, though. Almost.
Oh.
dupreeh does find him.
So, after that, definitely justified save there. We talk about EnVyUs always force buying themselves into ruts here on the CT side. They managed to avoid it this time, and we'll have a nice full buy going into this one. It's currently 6-1 in favor of Astralis on the T side. They're looking very strong indeed, and EnVyUs as well, taking tactical pause. So they're doing everything they should be doing right now in terms of like the approach to coming back into this game.
Well, it was the nightmare situation for any CT side on any map. Is win the first 3 rounds, you force buy in that second usually, win the fourth, and then lose the fifth. So I mean, your economy gets completely reset in the worst possible way, and you can see it here. So this is the next massive round. This is really the first buy that this is the second buy that EnVyUs had in the second half.
Well then, I've heard that Flusher is going to be bringing some water onto the stage, so that's happening apparently. He's coming on to help out. He's going to be the water boy.
Why not?
But yeah, we'll have a look at the buy coming in for EnVyUs right now. They have got the AWP back onto Kenny S, another glass cannon, of course. But to that guy, it doesn't seem to matter. He'll make things happen regardless. Device stepping up the AWP as well. Currently, I think he's top fragging as well. 21 frags for him, so living up to what he should be here. Carrigan, although he had a very difficult first half, he is getting up to 9 frags yet. He had to break the double figures, but this is obviously another huge round here for Astralis. We are getting the loss bonus to the 4th stage, so after this full investment, it will be a very difficult situation for EnVyUs going forward. They need to make sure they lock this round down and convincingly as well. They not only need to win the round, they need to be winning it with numbers as well.
At least 4 players. They need to build up bank to make this comeback, to be able to survive through damage they take in future rounds. dupreeh, the scary part too is dupreeh's at 20, so Device and dupreeh are like the bread and butter of the Danes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Both having fantastic games, and that's kind of the formula that you always think about when you think of a dominant Astralis side.
Well, then we are back into it. The water has been delivered. And we enter round number 23.
Thank you, Flusha.
Yes, thank you very much. And actually, look at the setup coming in from Astralis, sending 3 players towards Palace pretty much straight away. It's kind of unorthodox right now. You assume this kind of means showing some presence towards the B opponents. Actually, Device is going to be doing that, looking for a pick, and if not, just show a lot of heavy hands towards that side of the map. And here comes the play onto the A bomb. So they've sneaked out once again, undetected. They found the first 2 frags as well. It's a perfect play here from Astralis. It's reading them like an absolute book, and not a very good one, as they get those first 2 frags. And it's just Device showing such a heavy hand towards the B bomb site. It continues as well. Dupree gets towards CT spawn, and it's just an absolute nightmare for EnVyUs there.
That's a heartbreak round because that was based on miscommunication between Apex and Kiyoshima.
Yeah.
Apex close up towards A ramp had to have thought that Kiyo was keeping a better eye
on
Palace.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
And coming out of a pause like that.
Well, I guess they played 2 players towards B. They're going aggressive. They spotted the player. It looked like absolute carnage going on over there. So I guess there's probably some very bad comms going on, a lot of confusion. And I just couldn't understand what his position was on the A bomb side. Like that's not really a position. Like if you're going to be watching Palace, you're doing that from like the boxes at the back. You're doing it from CT spawn or jungle. That's a more effective position to cover your teammate. But he opted for that one and got taken down as well. But lovely play from Astralis. That's actually really well read. It's walking out there. It's reading the situation perfectly. But here we go. The nightmare situation we discussed. It is going to be a force buy coming in from EnVyUs. They've got 5-7, a scout, and that scout is gone. It's MBK going for the jumping shot. He gets taken down. The bomb site is completely open. It's an A stack, and Astralis are going to round number 15. They've done it.
And this Danish alliance is just slaughtering the French right now. This is incredible.
The answer to what the French have been providing with the Swedish sides today has finally been rectified, and it looks like Astralis here are going to be taking this one. Hopefully we won't see another choke coming up. I'd use the term choke lightly.
I can't believe you just said that right now. That's you might have just done it. you might have just done it. It might be all over. Phone it in.
The thing is, like Fnatic played so sick in that cobble team side towards the end. Like obviously that round of the sawn-off shotgun, that was detrimental to Dignitas and their morale going forward, but I can't see it happening here. Like, no. It surely can't be happening again.
Well, they are going to save an AK-47 into the next round.
And potentially another weapon as well.
Maybe a second? Nope. Oh, Kenny does have an AWP still.
Oh god, here it begins.
So this is entirely possible now. If this op comes alive, the biggest issue they have to face is look at the mountain of economy they have to overcome on the Astralis side. 4 members above 10, 2 members at 10,000. Xipnix is at 13,000, Device at 15,000. This money is never running out.
Yeah, that's not an issue for them whatsoever. It's just making sure they win the rounds convincingly now. But let's see what we can do. Kenny S with the AWP towards window. It is going to be smoked out for now. We'll have a look at the setup coming in for Astralis. They're sending 3 players towards lower ramp this time. Not going to be going out towards our Palace area. And Dupree and Carragher. It's a complete shuffle of the approach from last round. And we can see Kenny S is watching towards shore once again, seeing if he can spot any players. And you assume this will be a similar smoke tactic though, but it's interesting we've got Dupree so deep towards B. You know he's going to be trying to do something with this, trying to keep the players over that side of the map.
Kenny trying to remain centralized. He's going to get aggressive through smoke, sees nothing. Actually, Device is down there, but just the timing of it hasn't worked out. Now Kenny, maybe feeling the pressure of being at 15 rounds, he's going to do a quick rotate back, and Astralis is already out of this B bomb site. 1 kill towards A, 1 kill towards B. Where do you rotate to if you're EnVyUs right now?
The thing. Kiyoshima's not falling for it just yet, but it's not going to matter. Gets his head blown off by Cajun B. That's going to be it. Kenny S is the last remaining player. Everything to play for. Bomb will be planted. Doesn't really have much footing into this. He's going to be going towards CT spawn. But it's another really nice execution there from Astralis. They're showing such heavy play towards the B bomb side. Burning kills as well. And all the remaining players have to do is walk into that A bomb side. They've done enough work at that point. And it seems to be a very efficient tactic for them working out. And they're actually going to be taking down EnVyUs. No choke today. Oh God. No. Not like this. He gets the first one. He hasn't got a kit though, so surely he can't do this. There it is. Zipex will finish things off. We do have a 16-9, so Astralis there. Amazing second half, only dropping 1 single round on their T side. That's very, very efficient indeed.
Well, when you control the economy the way they did in the second half, you have so many different options available to you. You could see, when they just walk up the ramp with no execution because they know there's no utility on the other side. The economy's low. They can run those fakes. They know even if there's just 1 or 2 players sticking around that A site, all he's got is a FAMAS.
I love the fakes they kept doing there. Yeah. They're so convincing as well. When you've got players like Dupree going to the bomb site like that and actually getting kills as it comes down, you can't do anything but rotate. You know it's going to be a fake potential. You haven't even seen the bomb there, but it's just so hard to not react to that. You saw Kiyoshima trying not to give in, but he's just the last player, the last line of defense on the A bomb site with the FAMAS, doing what he could, but that's going to be it.
He's got no help. He just collapses.
Yeah, well, that's it. And now, all of a sudden, it's been the...
It's back in control of the Danes.
Yeah, what are they calling it? The Swench Alliance? Finally losing control here, and it's going to be back towards the Danish. And we go over to OJ, who's got Carragher on stage. Take it away, guys.
Thank you, Henry, you beautiful, beautiful man. Carrigan, that's a major scout for you, isn't it?
That was a good match. I mean, we had our problems on Mirage against EnVy last 3 times we played them, and the 4th time it actually worked out, so I'm pretty happy about the result.
Talking to you beforehand, I was asking what you thought the scores would be. You gave me a fairly conservative estimate. They went, oh, we're going to do them 16-0. They were laying the smackdown on you, and you threw it back in their face.
I understand it because we never really beat them on land, so it's the first time we beat them in best of 1, but all the best of 3 players against them we lost, so it's always been a quite exciting match, and this time it went in favor of us.
So let's talk about this and what it means for the different alliances, because we've got a French-Swedish alliance going on, which I've still not totally worked out a phrase for it, the Frisch Alliance, and we've got the Lurpak as well, which is you and your Danish friends in Dignitas. What does it mean now that you've beaten the French, now you've beaten EnVyUs?
I think they planned all day, 8 games. They had all planned with their 4 Alliance teams, so we have the ball now and we will have to see what we do. It's going to be interesting.
Well, it's going to be interesting because you now have the power, you have the ball, as you say. Where are we kicking that ball?
To our fellow teammates, of course, from Denmark.
Well, they're already stood there, so they knew that was happening already. So Dignitas are stood at the front of the stage. Who are they taking on?
They're playing versus Vext.
Versus Vex, we could see that coming. It is Denmark versus Poland. That is the next match. Thank you very much, Carrigan. Which means let's hand it back to the desk and you, the machine. Well, it's all happening.
Thank you, OJ. It doesn't get much vaguer than that. It is all happening. It's all happening. No. But what a game that was. And we did, of course, see the Danes get back in control for the first time here in our 2nd day of the ESL Expo. And by rather convincing fashion, you know, EnVy started that 6-1 before things started to go the way of the Danes. And it all kind of came down to them keeping their foot on the economy. I'm going to start with you, Janko. At what point did you decide that was Astralis' game? 15, 16?
What do you mean, Alex?
I was just trying to hand over to you to do some analysis, mate.
But you said that EnVyUs got off to a 6-1 start. It was Astralis.
Get wrecked. It was 7-2 for Astralis.
Yeah.
And then
6-1, then 7-2 for Astralis.
I wrote 6-1 Astralis, but EnVy kept the rounds close. Is that not what I said?
Well, you said EnVyUs was 6-1.
Oh. Well,
at least you proved your notes were right.
Yeah, exactly. My notes were right, my brain was wrong. I'm sorry. Janko, I'm going to stop trying to be a host. Can you just go ahead and do some analysis, though?
I mean, you know, same old, same old. Lose both pistols in a game, it's really hard to come back from that, having a difficult start, especially for a team like EnVyUs, who force buys as well once they lose pistols. So even in the first gun round, even when the gun rounds come, their economy is not as strong. So they had basically the, you know, economy nightmare in this game. When they would win their first round, they immediately got their money system reset. So
and that's a tendency that EnVyUs has always had. It's one of the things Maniac said he wants to help clean up, and in this game it haunted them dearly because they didn't have a bed of rounds per se in this game, so they couldn't recover it in time, but they actually let it slip too far away. If they got that round, again, we're going to call them geniuses. They look great, but it's just such a huge risk, especially on the favored side.
And you've got to wonder if maybe having Maniac behind them just to keep that little bit of thought in mind has actually had a small, I say small, it could have equated to a lot more rounds into maybe their pockets there, but kind of curious if that's going to actually be an overarching factor for them maybe down the line. But it's a small piece that maybe he could just have that external view to see, like, guys, hey, like let's not spiral this, you know?
I also think when it comes to force buys, okay, I don't necessarily have something against force buy in itself, but you see EnVyUs, for example, they all buy, but no one buys a single nade. They have a Deagle armor, Tech 9 armor, P250 armor on a map like Mirage, where it's not, you know, as easy as maybe on Inferno to get to those close regions. It's something that Fallen talks about. Someone has to make the sacrifice and not buy armor and buy all the nades, or not buy a pistol, just buy nades, whatever, you know. So then you can gain some ground, and then those guys with Kevlar and pistols can do some damage.
But they get away with it.
Well, it's going to be Anders going absolutely berserk at this. He hates it in any aspects. Like, why not just play like one flash?
Yeah.
One flash.
A decoy, I don't care, just buy an aid. Buy an aid of some description. $50 well spent.
And also Moses made a really good point towards the end of that game, that because of the economy situation for EnVy in the second half as well, Astralis didn't do anything special. They were just using the fact that EnVyUs doesn't have much resources left towards the end of the round, and they would just, you know, try to figure out what positions they have in the site, and then just came out as a group and, you know, took control. So great example of how low economy can hurt you in a game.
To give an example as well of what you're saying, just making sure you have one nade. Look what G-Bots did this morning on their pistol round on Mirage. They bought one smoke, one Molotov, used them perfectly, got a bomb plant, and made a great execute.
I mean, but then we also saw examples of that from Astralis when they attempted that kind of double, triple smoke onto the A site, tried to get the bomb down, just basically staring towards CT. And I like the idea, just didn't quite manage to work out. And that shows that, you know, even if you do invest into nades, sometimes it can just fall a little flat.
Well, it certainly can do, but that doesn't necessarily come down to the actual theory crafting. It's if you're facing CT, you're going to have to take the chance of taking on the team who's staring back at you, right? That's pretty much how it works. So, of course, you're going to have to negate one of the 3 smokes, essentially, that is normally the default towards A. So, if you feel confident in doing it, then do it. Like Astralis, let's be honest, even on their gun rounds, will go ahead without the smokes in play, which did start to come through on that T side, and it worked perfectly. The only thing that did seem to, like, you know, slow them down a little bit for a while was Apex, trying to be really aggressive. He actually found a good touch of form, you know, pushing into ramp, getting the bomb, dropped down there, pushed straight up mid, got the pick, no one trading him out as well. He was able to get away and reset everything, but still, in the end, the Astralis T-side was pretty good.
Yeah, we have, at this tournament specifically, seen a lot of the kind of the entry fraggers, the first-in kind of players, stepping into their own. Scream we were identifying as someone that's been doing it a lot more. Apex, we say, when he's hot, and he's just been doing exactly the same thing as well. It's quite exciting to see sometimes the entry fraggers where we just go, oh, well, he's off, another off game. Seems like players are finding form right before these huge events around the corner, which excites me a lot.
Dupree as well. I mean, in this particular game, him and Device had a great game. I think more than 50 kills combined, which is one of the big reasons, you know, why Astralis was so dominant in this game.
Yeah, I mean, not dropping around on your T side kind of speaks volumes. And
they did drop around on their T side. Stop it.
Get things right.
What? They dropped around. They won a round and then lost the next one. That's why their economy was
As
wrecked.
Henry passed to us, he was like, oh, didn't drop around on their T side, incredible stuff.
Trusted in Henry.
So I was like, oh, brilliant, that's good to know. Thank you, Henry.
If you watch the game yourself,
Henry into this? Why are you throwing him under the bus if you made a mistake?
Well, because I was sitting there going, oh, Henry is a smart person.
I just like how the first event that he was on the couch was DreamHack Stockholm, and he was too scared to banter at all, and now he's just like going at everyone, like 6 events
Yanko
later.
knows how to make friends.
Alex, you're making it easy, bro.
What by... We've got some singing Spaniards over there. At least they're not invading the stage, otherwise Yanko would probably start punching them, as always.
Watch out, Germans. Leipzig.
It doesn't go too well.
Yeah, he just starts getting frowny and starts punching. But we are going to go ahead and take a break before we carry
away from my desk.
With this one. Yanko, the desk bodyguard, that's why we bring him here, just to keep things in check. For now, though, I'm going to go ahead and try and keep hold of my job while Yanko starts flexing or attempting to flex. He has been here in the gym recently. Bless you and your pot belly. For now, though, we're going to take a quick break. Thank you so much for staying with us. We've got more CS just around the corner, and we'll see you there for Vexed attempting to stay alive.